let's just get on with it because I'm running late again. I was trying to fix a bug in my simmer well, not mine really, but I mean it is my branch right now. I guess we're gonna, because I don't know what is happening. It is just not receiving the track data message that it should, and it's just breaking itself apart due to that. For matter of fact. And I do not quite get it why. It's quite pain. Oh wait, I launched it. I'm stupid, I've been launching ACC without... Wait, have I enabled fields on my auto mode at this point? No, we're not launching like this. Play. I need to open this menu again. Always use this option now again. I had to change this so I can debug, but we don't need to debug right now. We need to get on the server badly. There's only a few minutes remaining. I have done a few laps at least with the car, so it's like I've actually done a lap with this car. So I know roughly how this thing behaves and how it works. It's not the end of the world right now, so let's search for the server. And now I need... Well, the thing is, his session times are shorter than actually on the schedule. Why do people do that? It is really annoying because I can check... No, actually they are at the same time. I'm stupid. Never mind me. I thought they were 20 minutes for qualifying and practice, but I guess they aren't. It's just me being stupid and then complaining about me being stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm just stupid. Do not mind me, I do not know what I'm talking about. Clearly. And this thing is still broken. I do not know why, but like it is just broken now. I guess a SteamVR update broke this thing and changed the behavior of how things work. But this option still sort of works, so that's always good. I can just work like this. That's functional for me. Okay, so everything else is working. Streamer's up. This is up. Okay, so I guess we can briefly click a setup together. Where's my glovies are here. Good, that's also good. Gonna have an hour-long race, so we're gonna need some. I mean, for quality, we don't need that much fuel. It's 15 minutes, so we need technically enough fuel for doing 2 laps. I'm gonna take 60 liters just in case. Temperature's 33 degrees Celsius. Car start all the way. Tow reduction. The bump stop range is actually reasonable. They patched that on this car. At least on this track. I don't know if they patched it on all tracks, but like, at least on this track we have functional bump stop ranges on the Porsche, which is really nice. And decent defaults, where you don't immediately die as soon as you drive out of the pit lane with them. I mean, I probably want to run them even lower than that, although I'm not too sure. And well, let's go a bit down. 35 or something. That sounds reasonable. 30 on the rear we keep right now. Otherwise, pressures I think are gonna be roughly fine. Hopefully. Oh yeah, I think that adds everything together that I need. Right. So.
Green light, give it all you can.
Have fun as well after the race. Don't use password and then one nurse. Then I don't get the sound quite. But let's start the engine. Let's get the car fired.
Low tire pressure. Stay away from curbs.
I mean, it's only 20 cars, but like, it's still 20 cars. It's still something. We're fine. It's now along. Jeez, how much slip this thing has in this section here? It's quite something. Right. So. Oh yeah, my leaderboard will not work. I can. Because as far as I can notice, there's no. It doesn't send leaderboard data. It doesn't send the entry list data either. It doesn't send track data or the leader. But this is only a problem on this track. I don't know why. Like I can definitely from the debugger see that it actually requested the entry list data. Not the entry list. I didn't check it out, but it definitely requested the track data. So yeah, go figure. We'll check the tire pressure's a bit on the low side. What the hell is going on here? See the lap invalidated message, which is correct. Howdy Jordan, how did your race go? With the... Which car did you drive in the end? The McLaren, right? Fuck. I am noticing that my tire pressures are probably utterly wrong. Was horrible. You were overall P what? It's again covered up by the stupid chat. Also, yeah, P2 for a bit. I mean, Asa became suited team. If I work in the lead, I see. That's interesting. Yeah, I saw there were some issues with the formation lap. It's I didn't see it, but from what I've effectively saw is that it does a full lap on the Nordschleife as well, so it doesn't use the shortcut when you do full formation. Which they technically also do in real life, so this isn't quite wrong. Okay, the Ferrari goes for another shortcut. Well, I'm going on the Nordschleife now. Because he has already shortcutted once. Yeah, I saw that question. I mean, I would have created one, but like, you know, I'm a tad busy with driving right now. But I mean, I guess you can go ahead. So, go ahead. This BMW M4 is sticking with me, it seems. Just go by at this point.
Car on the right. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Like, I mean, I'm faster in this section here down again. Oh, you on a fucking blue flag? Like, you're on an invalid lap, my friend? Or what? Yeah, he's on an invalid lap. Why is he passing me then? He flashed me, definitely. Why the fuck did you flash me then? Bruh, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm on a valid lap here. I mean, he's gonna gap me now. Latest today, gonna lay down, okay. No, no problem. And I haven't got a reply from Chris yet either. The funny thing is, I was under pressure on the GP circuit, now my left front is over pressured actually. But yeah, those GT2s are really close on pace with the GT3s. And this is probably a pretty decent driver here. Well, the last time I competed in the MrGit event, I won it. So there's that. Even my gap calculation from my gap calculator isn't working properly. Like, that should work, at least. Because it's independent from the leaderboard plugin, but something is breaking it, definitely. Okay, he was really slow there for the carousel. Like, I'm on a valid lap still, my guy. You clearly aren't, because you're getting blue flagged constantly. Although there's a lot less marshal posts than actually on real life. Like, those guys should be waving flags at him, but like they aren't. Okay, those guys showed very late the flag. Yeah, clearly for him. I'm not gonna abandon the lap because, you know, it's Nordschleife. Just to get the gap. But with how close I am, I'm gonna pass him just on the DerGeneralFluff and then be done with it. Like, he has no chance there. I'm about 10k faster than him on the DerGeneralFluff. Minimum. I brake before the dip there because otherwise you jump so far. Fuck me. The balls. Some of these sections need. That's not quite right. I mean, I'm 1.7 seconds back, so this is gonna be a bit tight for me to complete the pass there on the straight. There's a lot of understeer there. Now let's see, how much am I gonna get here on the straight on him? Well, quite a bit faster than GT3s. Jesus, I'm already heading towards 290 up the hill. I got 7/10 already in this one straight away here. But we're gonna brake before here to set the car up properly. Okay, 1 second ahead, and the GP circuit favors him, so he should not be in any more an issue for me. Oh, thank you for just stopping in the middle of the straightaway. Oh, fuck. I threw all the time gains basically away there into turn 1. He was still faster over a lap than me. And he did complete a full lap, he just wasn't valid. He had invalidated it early on the lap. And I got beaten by Chunky by 1.5 seconds. Oh, brakes please. Although definitely 1.5 seconds should be easily doable on this track. I mean, I have them already in hand, just from starting a flyer. But Chunky has also the same option. And he will likely also gain about a second from not taking the shortcut. Question is if these 8-minute older tires are gonna perform as well as the younger ones over the main part of the circuit. How much ABS chatter there is. Nice Roof did get a lap in. That's really weird because he was shown blue flags mid-lap, I've just noticed. I'm getting so much time right now. I mean, that was where I let him by, so that's why I gained there time. Oh, that was a long message and I just couldn't read it. I'm sorry, Mr. Git, but like, if you want to ask me to stop my qualifying lap here, you're gonna have to make a shorter message that I in the very short window that displays can actually read. Also, I have only 3 minutes right now to finish the lab. I don't think that's enough. I think I'm running out of time here. The session overtime is not long enough for me to finish my qualifying lap here. Yeah, I would need another good minute on that timer if I wanted to. Yeah, we're gonna pull over and return to the pits in a moment. That's nice, that curb. Well, that's actually so. I mean, this corner is also sketch always.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out.
Alright, we burned about 12.8 liters there. I'm gonna return to pits right now because that's not just not enough time to finish the lap. Right now. Fastest time in 8 minutes 23. But it get with lower numbers. This is kind of like, oh yeah, Victor Barella's complaining. What a loser. Nyom. I think about cancelling my order with Fanatec, and it sucks. I mean, we did kind of try to warn you that, like, oh yeah, it's Fanatec. They're still kind of having issues with their shipping. And then you're like, well, you know, it's sort of working again, so let's try it. It's unfortunate that it's starting to bite you in the ass. I need to hit after Uvu Market because as far as the last time I checked, I still have a shipping number that like has done fuck all. So I need to hit them up and be like, hey, the shipping number you gave me, there's been no progress on it at all. Like you haven't actually given them the package. You've just given me an electronic registration for shipping, which is fine. And usually this stuff is filled in like a day or two later and then started to be shipped. Don't give me the shipping number before you've even like given the other people the parcel. You know? Yeah, that's kind of the problem that you're circling the drain with. Okay, so we need fuel. Let's fulfill the car, because we don't really have another choice, do we? Yikes, from 1.5 laps of driving, the real tires are down to 2.6 already. Oh boy. Well, the temperature has gone down a bit. But we were already relatively high on the tire pressures. I think this is gonna be fine, so no boys. Could beat a bunch of GT3s here, but like qualifying really wasn't tight at all. I mean, people are figuring out again that this, the Nürburgring is not really used much for Indians for racing on it, because you know it's really pretty tight racing. Event happened or not really? It did happen. Jordan was driving in it. It's just I couldn't drive in it because you know I was busy eating dinner and stuff. They did have issues. They tried to do a full formation lap and that didn't work. They did have to tell everyone who was signed up with a Porsche Cup that they shouldn't be signed up with a Porsche Cup anymore.
20 seconds.
Because the Porsche Cup is broken. Because joining with any of the GTC cars causes everyone else on the server to crash out. That's a fun bug. Really fun. Right. So yeah, it did still happen. They still ran a 30-minute race.
Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
One advantage this event has, it's not hosted on SimGrid, so I'm not losing or gaining any rating. Yeah. Yeah, Jordan was briefly here earlier. Yeah, they introduced a bug related that, at least on the Nordschleife, if anyone joins a multiplayer session with a GTC car, everyone else gets crashed to desktop with a fatal, with the Unreal Engine 4 fatal error. It's really fun. I think even the Porsche Cup driver gets crashed out. The server, I think, stays alive through the entire process. The server lives this. But you can see everyone time out and suffer WebSocket errors and everything. We briefly thought it also affected more cars like the...
Green light, go, go, go.
What's it called? The... Ginetta, but fortunately that was a misreading. It was another person trying to join with a cup car.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
It's poor McLaren driver there. Just getting completely dispatched by 2 GT2s immediately at the start. Since 2013. Yeah, it's a really stupid bug to have. Like, just why? And who knows if there's like some bugs related to endurance event, to driver swap events again, like they introduced last time. Who the hell knows? Where's the Q&A? Yeah, that's honestly a good question considering this bug was so easy to find. Like, yes, we can immediately expect people to, with the Nordschleife, do multi-class racing. And you will catch this error immediately as soon as you try to join a second person onto a server. I think even the Porsche Cup driver actually crashes out in the process of doing this. So this is just so blatantly obvious of a problem. But I mean, on the other hand, they have to click for all car classes to do this. But on the other hand, it is one of the major car classes your game features still. And also, how the hell did you do this that you broke the game like that? I'm also having a bug where my leaderboard doesn't work. I don't know why. That could also be a Kuno's problem. Because I tried to debug the entire thing and it's requesting the track information and just not receiving any. And I didn't see if it requests the entry list, but like, clearly it is not getting any. I can tell you that. But I definitely know my plugin is requesting the track data. It is not getting any track data. And in circumstance does not produce anything useful. At least my gaps for my other plugin for me are working, so I have accurate gap calculations. Well, wait a minute, some of the guys in front of us with the GT3s have drive-through penalties for being out of position there at the start. Yeah, the race leader and P2 are both have drive-through penalties. So it is... so we're in a net third place. Oh great, the Nissan is off as well. And Metzger's failed here. So yeah, we are now in 4th place. Overall 2nd place in class. Obviously because, you know, there's another GT2 in front of us in the form of a Maserati. We also have the hungry McLaren behind us. But he will be left in the dust as soon as we go up to Mutkurve. That section here. Like as soon as there's any straightaway, it's just for GT3s, it's Jova. We may see very soon some balance patches to sort of address that issue. Because I think the GT3s are a tad bit slow in comparison to the GT2s. Yeah, and we're having here to slow down because... okay, he's not playing fair here. Not letting me have a chance, that's a pass. Ah, and the BMW is out of the carousel.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Now a GT2 is effectively leading the race. GT2 supremacy. Oh, he has to obviously pace himself for some of these sections. Fuck, fuck, fuck. I nearly threw the car away there. But compared to the GT3, I can't, like, you know, pass that easily on the straight. That guy already flashed me in qualifying. Because, in his opinion, I got in his way of his hot lap. He held me up more, though. The down gear at the bottom, but, like, we do small tap on the brakes before we go over the crest there. Last time I had it for this section here, it didn't quite work too well for me. Still doesn't work too well. Those bumps just don't work with my car too well. Now there's a lot of understeer over this crest. Oh, I got it really nicely there. Got a lot of momentum out of that corner. Let's see. I don't think I have 7/10 worth of straight line speed advantage on the Maserati. Although... we've already eaten 2 of those. Oh, and we have a 7th gear that I didn't even know we had. Although we seem to be topping out with that 7th gear. And I'm not passing from this far back into the next corner. And that was still too fast. Yeah, that chunky is a bit too fast for me. B has stayed out, so we're... I'm forgetting that I need to brake a lot earlier on this layout. I'm fucking myself over here badly. Tires are getting cooked already. Well, they're hot, but that doesn't mean they're cooked. They're also low pressure even. That's probably because of the long straightaway they cool down. The brakes after all cool down a lot on that one. I'm more concerned with my brakes not working that well. But yeah, the thing is, the tire display is anyway relatively aggressive with what it displays in terms of temperatures. They're just a tad bit warm on the rear especially. But otherwise they're doing fine, the tires. They're not special in any way, shape or form in that sense. Yeah, we're losing quite a bit of ground on our friend Chunky in front. Even the McLaren has gotten by the BMW, so that's interesting. Oh, fuck. Playing it danger close there. The McLaren is closing back in again, despite us being in a relatively high-speed section here. Yeah, we're just not able to get by the Maserati, and he's just escaped due to that. And I mean, I'm expecting the tires to not start struggling to last at some point. How dark it is in this section here. With the shade the trees are throwing. I don't know what in-game time it is. I'm an active risk of getting hit by that guy. What is yellow flagging us?
There's a slow car ahead.
Ahead? I'm pretty sure no. From my relative, there isn't. Except if the yellow flags are really aggressive and the leader dipped the wheel in the grass, but like I didn't. Oh, P35. But like that's 30 seconds up ahead. Like that shouldn't trigger a yellow for us back here. I mean, behind us, perhaps. You know, like. Actually closed in quite a lot on the Maserati there for the carousel. I mean, the slowest class in this race are GT4, so it's gonna take a moment for us to actually start lapping. Also compared to real life, where because of the stagger, effectively the race leaders are starting to anyway lap in real life on lap 2, always. Because the third starting group starts already 4 minutes afterwards. I think it's 2 minutes between starting groups, if I remember correctly. Or was it 3 minutes? Something like that. Oh, fuck. Don't even think about it. It's unfortunate that John in the stream has a race. I would love to watch back the replay of how he drove. He did say he was on a long fight with Arthur for P2. It was interesting. MrGit is actually up to P4, well, what will become P4 overall. Yeah, there's some weird shenanigans right now going on. I mean, you can't see the standings, right? But yeah, the race leader is about 8 seconds ahead. He will have to suffer drive-through in a moment's notice. 7th gear is not really that good, I have to say. I think in the middle of Hohenrhein would probably make more sense to brake. Because us GT2s need to brake early. I gained a lot on that braking zone. Yeah, there's the race leader in finally. Right, MrGit got also the fastest lap, so he's on the move. I wasn't monitoring where he started or anything. That's a KTM crossbow there. And I think he ate the McLaren there on the straightaway. Yeah, it's GT2 from GT2 from GT2. And then in 4th place is the first GT3 car. We unironically picked the fastest class on this track. All hail the GT2 class. I should probably pitch this to John that we should do the 12-hour in the GT2, because they have technically signups for GT2. It will look weird, but oh boy, this is gonna be a rude awakening for some people when they realize that GT2 class is actually competitive. Like, I think I'm generally faster right now with a GT2 than a GT3. It's more civilized through there. So we've done 2 flying laps so far. Fuel prediction is 58 minutes still in the fuel tank. I did take full fuel at the start. So MrGit is really taking half a second out of me. Not too funny here. Actually being run down here. Guess down get a bit too aggressive there. I guess I maybe could try 5th gear through there. It's still a gamble to use. It's a little bit of extra curbing piece. Oh, what a beautiful rendition this is. Yeah, I wasn't there, unfortunately, for the raid. I was doing other things. I just briefly popped in earlier. I just saw then some messages from raiders. But what I saw, when I had briefly clicked on your stream earlier, well, I actually had misclicked in the Frosty app and, well, mispressed and then opened up the Need for Speed World category. And if it actually opened up the category, you were at least some point in time the only one streaming in that. Which, I mean, isn't too surprising. The game has been offline for years. And there comes the KTM crossbow, which is way more grip than me. Something I've been repeatedly saying, the 935 looks cool, it just isn't good in GD2. It's a cool looking car, it vaguely drives also nicely, occasionally. It's a neat challenge, but like it just isn't a good car. The KTM is just a much better car in the category. And especially the Merc and... fucking hell, not again.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
How much more grip he has! Like, his car just has so much more grip on tap than me. And Git is not that good of a driver, he's... I mean, he's not bad. So get that wrong, but like, he's not an alien. Although he has done earlier a relatively lengthy stream, so he's probably got like, quite a few practice laps in. It's the main difference. I've just... I mean, I've done one before I hopped on for qualifying. Which is, you know, a lot more than... Actually, I've done 2 laps of practice. Actually, did 2. Ooh.
Car on the right.
just gets casually. He just has more grip. It's like so bullshit. The grip hacks are very real. Nah, I don't think he's using grip hacks. It's just I don't think that the grip that his car has available is fair. But that's my opinion. His car just has. And tried to scare me with the mail address spoofing as well as the old password I've been using for ages. The web is a bliss. Oh boy. That doesn't sound too fun. But we've also just been dropped off the podium due to that incident. Alright, can we get the GT3 back? I mean, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to keep him behind us.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
The bullying of the GT3 class is just something else. Also, you, Luke, are using Outlook to view messages. Naughty. Instead of, you know... Instead of, obviously using... Thunderbird. Yes, I was gonna say Firebird, but like that's wrong. It's Thunder. Mozilla has control over fire in the form of a fox and thunder with a bird. Need a few more animals to control the remaining elements. And this is roughly the length that I usually run for my... Oh, the Maserati has made a mistake. So MrGit into the lead with his overpowered Expo. Yeah, Git already leads. Something's from butt chokes and syncing the mail. I've not had any issues with that. I've been using it for my Hotmail, my Gmail, and actually even my university email, which has been really useful for that one especially. To connect to that Exchange server, although the Exchange plugin is actually at €10 a year fee. Maintenance of that one. Oh, the McLaren died. RIP. But yeah, the GT2 podium continues on. Next car behind is 9 seconds of Mercedes GT3. Yeah, usually this is around the time my GT2 races end. And usually the car suffers at that point with heavy tire wear. I mean, we are dropping time to our delta. We have a pretty not great delta, but like, this is fine. Seen worse. Let's see. He might have taken. I mean, I've grazed the wall, so there's a decent chance I have a decent chunk of damage. Oh yeah, that car looks a bit unhealthy from the rear end.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh, we have a lapped car! Who did this? A GT4 coming up to lap. Yes, we're getting lapping action in. Hello, little Ginetta. Let's see, is he gonna take the carousel? Probably we have to follow him, however. And he gets out of the way immediately, out of the carousel. Perfect. But yeah, that Maserati took some suffering there. Which promotes me back up to P2, but you know, unfortunately I have absolutely nothing against that I can offer up against that KTM crossbow from Git. He's just utterly rapid with the thing. I mean, at least I could watch the replay and see how he does it. I mean, my rear end will not look completely pristine either after my grace off the wall there. Triumphant. Last lap. But she's still working fine, so I'm like, there's no complaints here. If she finishes with all paint on it, you weren't pushing hard enough. This section here, man. It's so sketched, the rear end steps out and everything. This is just mind-blowingly sketch. And let's see, how much damage have I actually taken? 1.3 seconds, nothing. Just completely nothing there. Right. I have 5 laps of fuel remaining in the tank. Well, actually, P4 is the Mercedes in P4 is not a GT3. That's also GT4. Not GT4, GT2. The McLaren has dropped down to. Oh god, fuck! Not again. I keep forgetting that I need to brake a lot earlier on this layout than compared to the GP circuit. God damn it, I'm stupid still. But yeah, come on, fucking piece of shit. GP circuit is more my doing than the Nordschleife. Which is hilarious that that's the issue that I'm dealing with. But yeah, I guess we can start noticing the tires just starting to evaporate. That's a bit of an issue. I mean, they're gonna be down to the carcass effectively after an hour. And yeah, the other GT... Wait, that GT3 car's actually 50 seconds ahead. There's really not much happening. Like, we're really not gaining that much of the GT4s. But I mean, the track is still hard enough without cars on it. At least for a 60-minute race, this is not too much of an issue. If you have a 24-hour race, it's probably not great to do this with. I mean, we don't have that much of a small grid. We still have like over 20 cars in total. But I have done an Nürburgring 24-hour race with like a dozen. And that's, I can tell you, definitely not fun because it's just definitely turns into a lot of fun lapping. But I mean, if you're driving GT3, you're probably having the same experience. Because it's just hot lapping here, while me and the GT2 car is definitely, you know, getting asked to actually do something. But yeah, the tire wear is starting to affect the pace quite drastically. The yellow flag zone is over a minute ahead of me. The fuck game?
Yellow flag, be careful there.
The incident is over a minute ahead, by the way. That slow car ahead is a Mercedes number 8, which is 40 seconds ahead of me now. Like, okay, it's dropping to 30 now. But like, seriously, this incident is so far ahead of me. And throwing yellows at me for that is quite something. Like, the algorithm definitely isn't quite working correctly with that. But yeah, the last time I competed in a MrGit event, I actually won that one. That was an IndyCar 100-minute race at Indianapolis, obviously. Not the GP circuit, the oval. It was run without stock car rules, so we ran without safety cars for yellows, which is fun. Well, it's a classic case of R-Factor 2 being a pain in the ass to configure correctly. And ending up without those. But that made it like a very fast race because I think we completed like 140 laps there in the end. It was also used on the Brickyard 400 layout in R-Factor 2, which The difference between the Brickyard 400 and the Indy 500 layout is that the pit speed limit line is way earlier, so the stock cars have more pit boxes. But that produces issues for Indy cars because you need to slow down earlier. Like, a lot earlier. I sped into the pit lane on my first pit stop, so I had to do a drive-through. Luckily figured it out then, just slow down in time, but I think it was a drive-through, not a stop go. But yeah, the drive-through cost me quite a bit of time, but like I was able to race my way back up into the lead of the race and win the race still. There were not a lot of people in the race, and after some time there was really not a lot of people because without, you know, cautions you drop a lot of laps if you take damage. So I think the only time I actually used the IR18 IndyCar in R-Factor 2, which came with one of the DLC bundles. It included also, I think, the Cadillac, DPI, and the BMW M4 and Daytona. So that set I have for one of my last, I think not quite my last DLC purchase. I think that's Monza. It's one of my last DLC purchases for R-Factor 2, and I won that one. Obviously, as I said, I wanted to do the because he did also then a Daytona 100-minute race or something with stock cars, but like unfortunately I was unable to attend that one because I was stuck at like some family gathering again. I describe the story of my life at times with that. What did you do event? Was it a family gathering? Although it could also describe want to do your event, you decided to schedule it at the worst time possible. Fuck. Grounding a free game with a fun concept. Ah, okay, I see. That's interesting. Oh, Chunky actually lost the position. The Merc has gotten by him. But this also means the Merc is closing in on me. Oh, yo. Because he's gained like 2.5 seconds down that lap. The tires are really starting to struggle here at this point. And we still have with, you know... Man, that bump is so scary because the cars just basically sent airborne there over it. But you have to stay flat. Well, you could brake before it, but like it makes more sense to stay flat over it and then brake afterwards, because afterwards it isn't bumpy. It's a bit different to the R-Factor 2 version of this track where you usually brake before that bump. Hello. Turn 1. CLR moment, be like, yippee! Yeah, the funny thing is this car is like completely stable over Flugplatz, so yeah, I only need to brake slightly for the corner. They were like, oh no, the GT2s, they have to brake for Flugplatz. I'm like, my brother in Christ, the GT3s are not going to even be close enough to be that an issue. That's... And also the GT3s likely have to also lift through the corner quite a bit. Maybe even tap brakes as well, because it's just... They just don't get that easily through that corner. But yeah, I've already lost a second just on the GP circuit to the Merc behind. And the difference is the Merc has actual straight line speed in the GT3 class. Significantly more even than me, so it's like, this is not good. Not good, chief. And we have 3 laps to go, effectively. I think, roughly. It's gonna get close if we have 2 or 3 laps, but like... all the math adds up in my head. 3 laps to go. But first we have to dispatch of this GT3 here.
Car on the left.
Fuck! Fucking idiot, just fucking back out already. Piece of junk. Now get the fuck out of the way.
Clear on the left.
Thank you for... oh god, my car's badly damaged. Oh, why the fuck are these people so stupid? Like, just slow down already. If you're letting me by, which he clearly did there, then let me by actually, and not fucking take me out like an idiot. What is wrong with some people? Like, what is just wrong with that guy? Like, just slow down already. I was giving him also the room on the inside as much as I could afford with my car. But no, just not slow down sufficiently if he's letting me by. Like, I don't fucking prevent me from passing on... and that's like, I had 6 seconds on the guy, and now I have severe damage. In 2. That's me being demoted to P3 in the finish because some moron couldn't fucking drive properly. Couldn't figure out how to fucking drive a corner. I lost a second just here in Adenauer Force. It's like, what? I mean, that's just absurd. And Chunky might also come back before the end of this. I've collected 14 seconds of damage from that one. I don't know how much I can trust the car at that point. But I mean, there's a reason why a GT3 car gets lapped in a 1 hour race on the Nordschleife, and that's very simply because you're fucking stupid. Like, you clearly have not enough driving talent that you end up with that situation. I mean, you're like, yay, Nordschleife, and then you probably haven't even driven this thing for more like than 5 minutes, this circuit. It tells someone like me who's driven this circuit for... I think I'm not in the 1000 lap club on the Nordschleife yet. That's not quite there. But I'm up there in the numbers. I think it's only lapped 1 GT4 car, by the way. 1. I don't know how many there are. There's definitely 1 more. And it's still 50 seconds ahead, so we're probably not gonna lap that one before the end of the race. Okay, yeah, he has so much more straight line speed there than me. What? He lost it there because I put a block on. Now that's weird. Like, how the hell did he just lose it there? I mean, it wasn't the nicest move, but like, I got blocked about the same on the opening laps by the Maserati up the hill here. Also, damn how much more straight line speed he had there than me. Test of attention span. I guess we're weeding out all the fucking TikTok kids. That was just weird. Like, he came fast, I put a block on, and he just lost it. Oh fuck, wait, how the hell did I live there? How did I not die? I was sure to die, but there's some green coated thing, a magic there. That is not grass, but like nearly as slippery as grass, but not quite as much, that let me live there. Yeah, I guess, like, that sucks for him, though, that he got... Like, I don't want him to die like that. Yeah, I threw a defensive move to the left-hand side on him. But early enough, I would say. Like, just about early enough to... Oh, fuck. How did I not hit the wall again? Okay, I'm lucky as all hell there. Because I forgot to brake going down the hill there. And the car just immediately went like, ha, no, and just threw me 90 degrees sideways for the corner. And then I got slowed down in one of the few runoff areas the circuit had. Like, I've had a few near moments definitely as well throughout this race. On the other hand, I'm driving the fucking Porsche. Like, there's definitely a degree of masochism. Masochism there from me. This thing is a mess. But I guess I can't complain really as hard anymore about getting taken out when, you know, I indirectly took someone else out as well. Like, even if it's not my fault really, like, it still feels like my fault, and like, that sucks because he's still not... Yeah, okay, he teleported to the pits immediately. He didn't even just drive on from that one. Like, he returned to garage, he towed from that one. Man, I don't want to know how long you tow from that spot. Also, by the way, we do have 2 laps to go. Because Git definitely has more than 8 minutes 30 remaining on the timer. Because he's 30 seconds up ahead of me, Jesus Christ. Do you know somehow black magic? No. I would like to exchange my black magic for maybe brakes for turn 1. But yeah, it's now the fight between the damaged Maserati and the damaged Porsche. Who has a more fucked car at this point? Although it is funny that I effectively took out the Merc for trying to pass in the same spot that I passed the... Again, a yellow flag for a car in front of me that, you know, isn't even close. I'm seeing no flag post waving a flag for it. I don't think so. As far as I can tell, you can rely still on the flag post, but like the marshals and the not the marshal, the team, your radio man and the display here are way too aggressive for incidents that are far ahead of you. Like 60 seconds ahead. Like, that's just way too aggressive. And we don't need that sort of aggression for detecting incidents. Doesn't help anyone. Oh, fuck, what the fuck there? What the fuck was that car? Like, my car just decided to refuse to corner there. And now we have the Maserati there. Let's go set up there, okay. Decides to back out. Okay, you jammed me something else. I mean, it could have very much been also the guy who just wanted to rip me a new one for my incident with him. So I guess that's a clarification that that was that one. Again, no flag marshals displaying anything. Although I still think the game is having less flag marshals than the track actually has. There's less marshalling posts than in real life.
Slow car ahead.
I think the number 8 car is the one that I had my incident with. The well, in the beginning of the lap, that's the lapped car.
Watch out in front. Slow car ahead.
Yeah, you can rely more on the flag marshals than the in-car display. There we have a flag marshal displaying something, so we're getting closer. Yep. Those are actually reliable. Although when you're in between flag marshals, it apparently doesn't help much. And there goes the same guy again. Yes. That is the number 8 car that took me out earlier in the previous lap. Getting lapped again. Now that's an achievement and a half. So the guy that took me out gets lapped twice now. At least he didn't take me out in the second attempt. Honoring a lot. The question is how many marshalling posts there are. The thing is, I do see marshals, like here on the side here, but occasionally they don't actually throw flags. It was very noticeable during qualifying because there were blue flags displayed for a guy in front of me. Although it turned out that he actually was setting a valid time, so I don't know why there were blue flags. Coming out. Which is just bizarre. Maybe it was just also a car further back that like got very early blue flags, but I don't think that's the case. I mean, you can tell sort of when they're holding a green flag in the hand, then this is an actual another flag color, and they have actually a marshalling post. But you see a lot of marshals just standing around effectively at the side of the track, but not actually serving as a marshalling post. I mean, maybe there is at some point a limit for this game. You know, I thought it wasn't technically designed with this circuit in mind. It can handle it very easily, even. Well, as long as you're not running it on a fucking hard drive. On a hard drive, that thing is, this track seems to be utter pain. I don't know if actually Ivano got into the race session even at the end. Because he had to, like, the game took like 20 minutes nearly to just patch itself, those 17 gigabytes, which is like, that's absurd. Like 17 gigabytes of patching should not take this long, even on a hard drive. There's something very sus about his system. But it's probably in part that you're running Windows on a goddamn hard drive in 2024. Like, just stop. So to stop with that right there. Yeah, braking before that crest helps a lot with not dying. I understand that the financial situation in the country is not great, but on the other hand, it's like, my brother in Christ, do you have any idea of how much you're torturing yourself? Because with the issues he's having, I'm having like the assumption that he isn't even running 7200 RPM, and 7200 is not new. He's saying, oh yeah, my PC is old. It's old, like, at least know the specs, right? You've had it for so long then, like, you should know all the specs inside out, right? That's the problem, he just doesn't care. Maybe you should install Linux. With the 5400 RPM. The thing is, you can technically run Windows on a 5400 RPM hard drive because my mother is running that on her laptop. Her laptop shipped with 5400 RPM hard drive. She still has it in there. The thing is, at times this was utterly painful because she booted this thing out like once every few months. And like the thing basically killed itself with trying to install Windows updates. Like, it was terrible. I mean, now it is basically throttling itself to death when it tries to install Windows updates, and you have to wait multiple minutes to just... Oh, wait a minute, he's finished? So he must have waited for the... I guess he's prevented us from having to do another lap.
Great job, man. D2. Bring it back to the pit.
Yeah, he did wait up before the finish line, so we don't have to do another lap. Like, a lot. He was 40 seconds up ahead, and he finished 14. Yeah, he prevented us from having to do another lap. This is a violation of Geneva Convention, yeah. But yeah, that thing is running on a 4400 RPM hard drive. It still throttles, but because she has it now in the living room and she regularly boots it up to do fucking what is it called in English? Banking? Yeah, banking is the term. And other things. It doesn't take forever. Like, the boot times are actually reasonable. Like, the boot times are reasonable. That you can actually run it. And everything. And because it's regularly booted up and shut down, it gets its updates. So it doesn't, like, need 24 hours to install updates. Because that has happened. Where I've literally left this laptop for 24 hours to just install updates. In a corner and just let it update. The thing is, I've proposed to her, like, oh yeah, we could get you an SSD and like this could go a lot faster. Like, nah. Like, this is fine. I'm just like, and I've also like floated to her, hey, we have like old motherboards and CPUs laying around, but we can just with a power supply and maybe a case, or maybe we use one of the old ones. We could easily have a PC that for you that just works. And I have a 120 gigabyte SSDs in my server. That's an old SSD. That would technically work for this purpose. Wait a minute, did it not register that I'm now on the pit lane? Can you actually do the shortcut to do a pit stop? I'm not too sure right now. Cable box, hardware box. Well, it's more the hardware attic. Okay, I'm not seeing my pit box here. I feel like you can't do the shortcut to actually do a pit stop early. Was my pit box that far early? Because you should still see your pit box markings. But I guess I'm not. That's an interesting discovery. Because you should still in the cooldown lap see those, but like, I didn't see the notification for, hey, you need to slow down for pit speed and everything. So I guess they didn't fix that correctly together, huh? Not so great. And there goes the session again.
Green light. Show them what you got.
Right. And we're gonna check briefly how the tire compounds did. Light blisters on the rear. Down to 1.46 on the inside tire. On the inside edge of the rear tires. Yikes. These tires were toast at the end. I mean, the car was definitely suffering there at the end. The session wait time wasn't sufficient for actually everybody to finish the race. No, that's not great. They didn't set the session wait time long enough. And that sucks. That's such an obvious error, but like they seemingly fucked that one up. Okay, man, it takes a while to load it on. She's drunk again. Yeah, I mean, it takes a while to load the replay. More than usual. I mean, the loading times went up for me from under 10 seconds to like 20 seconds for an online session, and apparently for a replay from from under 10 seconds as well, from just about 10 seconds to I think about 20. So like that's still fine. But like for Ivano, it seems to take like 7 minutes, and it's like, huh? Like it shouldn't take that long. Like Alpha 2 still took ages to load. That's like, it genuinely was, because I ran Alpha 2 for long drive on a 7200 RPM hard drive, that it would take 5 minutes to get in session. I think at this point, even if you ran Alpha 2 on a hard drive, it would take about 3 to 4 minutes at most. Although that is not including game startup time at this point anymore, because you can just have the game running and then join a server. Because previously you had the launcher, so the 5 minutes included you pressing join in the launcher, the game loading, then you selecting your car, the game selecting spectator, the game loading again the track now finally, then the game loading each car in, because that takes in Alpha 2 a whopping 3 seconds per car. About 1 to 5 seconds nearly per car that it takes, even on an SSD. It is not really fast. You have to wait for all the cars on the server to be loaded in, and then it takes like 5 seconds for everything, a few seconds for everything to sync up, and then everything's running again. And then the game is finally running, and it's like, my god, goodness gracious, how slow is. And that's just Alpha 2 still with its slowness. I had the unfortunate problem with the last RF2 race I did, which was Le Mans, GES Le Mans, that my game was constantly crashing when I, just as it was finishing uploading the cars in. Or I think it was actually when it joined the server, something like, I don't know when it quite crashed, but like decently defined, just after I think finishing loading the track. Or after finishing loading the cars in, it just crashed out again. And it did that a few times, and I think my teammate did an entire extra stint at that point just to buy me more time to get into the game, because it just refused to wanting to start. And it was that point of like, yeah, I'm not wanting to deal with this shit after this anymore. I mean, I wanted to take that, I wanted to join the server and then maybe take the brief moment to, with the machine screwdriver to actually put my phone holder back into the wood, because that one had fallen out at that point again, and I wanted to remount it, and I just had to put the screws back in effectively. I could have done that while waiting for him to finish up his stint, but like instead I was fighting the game to just work, and it didn't want to work, and that sucks. Firstly, it really sucks. And yeah, luckily the 12-hour race is not next week. That's in 2 weeks' time. So hopefully Kunas will fix a couple problems with the game before that. So I don't have to, you know, bug fix, so we can just enjoy our time, because there's definitely a few bugs with the game right now that would be nice to be solved. The yellow flags being so far out detected is one of them. That just makes them like completely useless oftentimes. And then just the issues with the GTCs, although that doesn't affect that event specifically, but like still we would like to have events where GTCs are available, and because Porsche Cup is definitely a part of the Nordschleife. P1 Gaming's yearly November Nordschleife 24-hour. That one always, not always, but like it has for the last few years definitely always included the Porsche Cup class. Even raced in the Porsche Cup class before. Was usually GT3 and Porsche Cup, they've also offered, I think, BTCC last year, I think, as well. But in Alpha 2 you are limited to 50 cars because, you know, as I already said, the game takes ages to just load already, and you have to apply voodoo magic for stuff. Oh god, I think the skybox is slightly broken over here. when you look up and the clouds start moving a bit funny, that's just like, something isn't quite right here. Alright, let's watch stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the thing is with my mother's laptop, it's like Windows 10 will reach EUL on in September 2025. Well, I think October, something like that. And once that happens, I will be able to force her onto another machine. I don't know if I can actually force her onto Linux. I don't think that's gonna work because she has some kilting and kilting software and stuff like that that would work on the iOS and Mac and Windows. And it obviously supports iOS and Mac because its target demographic is American women. So if you come in there with Linux, it's just they look at you very weird because they have probably never heard of the operating system even. So there is that, and the question with that software is always like, I mean, for me, troubleshooting a software to work on a Linux is not too much of a problem, and Wine is really good these days to get stuff working. But like, man, this stuff just asks probably to break in spectacular fashion in some proprietary way. Although, I mean, I would also with Windows 11 still run into problems with some of the old CPUs, because what I effectively am with leftovers I would have is basically, in terms of a full PC, in terms of leftovers, would be a FX 6300, right? Like that would be one of this, because I have two motherboards with FX 6300s on them. And I have technically also an i5 3570K, but that's without a cooler. FX 6300 is definitely a decent option. For display, my old 960 can still work. That's more than enough power for any GPU loads. The FX 6300 is still powerful enough, and then just an SSD and the thing will just work. And the FX 6300 still runs circles around the i7 third gen mobile processor that is in the laptop. That's still like old as fuck. Actually, I also have an i5 2400. That as well in an Acer compact PC that's exists technically. Also, actually, I could harvest the GPU out of that one and use that one instead of my Nvidia card. Chicken nuggets of barbecue sauce. Okay, sure. That's the comment of out of context of all time. Oh yeah, I can tell you that you need to break early for this corner. I couldn't figure this out for the entire race, basically. Alright, so do we want to skip a bit for the race? It's not an Atom CPU, yeah. The laptop wasn't bad at its time. It has an integrated NVIDIA 630M graphics. I think the laptop is also an Acer, if I remember correctly. Or an Asus. It's an Asus, actually, yeah, an Asus. And we did find an article, I think, from 2011 going over it. Like, it's a bit older. But the problem you effectively circle back with a 6300 is you don't have a TPM module, and that means Windows 11 again is like, I mean, I can force it onto there probably, and it will work. And, you know, CPU instruction-wise, it will still work as well, so that's what I'm eating. Okay. Well, that sounds fun. I mean, it sounds like fast food, so like... but I mean, whatever. At least you're eating something, you know? Hopefully you're also getting sleep. After all, you've at times had issues. Oh yeah, in case about the Nordschleife Compared to the GP circuit, there's this curb. I don't know if they updated the GP circuit, but there is this curb. I haven't tried touching it so far. Would you like a FREMA license? Oh, wait for, that's the... Get a few licenses for free through the Easter giveaway. Oh, I don't really have a usage right now for them. I mean, I guess I could... Replacing, Telegram with FREMA. I guess could, in the family, could work. There's a funny issue I've been dealing with Telegram, and that is that Telegram's calling feature on my phone is a bit bugged. Where it's like a 50-50 coin toss in terms of, can the Ancient One actually hear me when she's calling me, or will I not be audible? I don't know why, it just, the microphone is occasionally not picked up. And it's like, huh? It just doesn't make sense. Okay, it's like I don't reboot, I don't change apps, like I don't change nothing. It's like it's. How much is the DLC? 13 euros. I don't know what that translates into American dollars. It's not cheap. I mean, it's the same price as Valencia with 3 cars, and this comes with none. But I guess, you know, if you're not interested in a Lamborghini, Ferrari, or a Porsche, then Valencia is still the same price, effectively. Yeah, it's 13 euros. It's 13. Which is roughly the same price that I paid. I think I paid more for the Alphactor 2 version back in the day. I think Alphactor 2 version was, I think, 15 bucks back in... I think what that's... Yeah, it was 2021 when I think that came out. 2020 or 2021. I vaguely do. I'm gonna use my main car. I guess. I mean, still, with the Valencia DLC, you sort of have to buy that one so you can run. There's some major cars choices in there, like the Lamborghini, like the Ferrari, like the Porsche. Like, you kind of need it just so you have up-to-date cars. I mean, yeah, if you don't have it, you can still run the M4, the 720S Evo, and the Aston, in case you're not Jordan. Although he did consider actually running that one for today. He ran in the Track EU event on the Nordschleife, which was a few hours earlier. I couldn't, but like he ran in that one. So yeah, go figure. He did test drive the Aston again, and he didn't feel it was as shit. So it may have been just also the setup, but like it's probably also in large part his mental game that fucked him over in that race. It's like he just couldn't think that the car was drivable. He thought the car was not drivable, therefore it became not drivable. Like, if you think your car is actively murdering you, yeah. It's like, if you feel like everything is going to shit and you're not paying attention, you will drive some utterly stupid lines. And I've seen this, for example, do also the Spa race back in December, I think it was. In December, where he bent the car a few times, quite a few times, and it was like, sometimes he was driving some lines that were just like, what are you doing? This is just so wrong, the line, that like, I could see that from miles away that you're driving it completely wrong, and it's like, yeah, he just lost his mind effectively at that point. With mind broken already, and just piling mistakes on top of mistakes. So yeah, go figure. That's yeah. He's. I mean, I'm very easily receptible towards if my race isn't going well, that I mentally destroy myself. Right, that I enter the spiral. But Jordan's spiral is pretty damn hard. Like it's Jordan's spiraling is spirals really badly. I can spiral as well. It's not impossible for me, but like when I spiral, the consequences are at the most one extra pit stop, right? Like, on the other hand, I've done things like doing a 6-hour race with the KTM, which just everything in that race went wrong. Like, I think I did an extra pit stop in that, a single one in total, that I because I had to do damage repairs once. An extra pit stop for damage repairs. I had to repair damage because I took some GT3 car out. I was stupid and took a GT3 out in the process. I made a mistake there, but like, and lost time in some places, but like that was a lot of grinding because I was just like, I was so close to running. Like, I was just so fucking close in that race for the entire time to running the leader down. And again, I was making slow inroads, and again and again the leader was slightly then starting to edge me back out because of traffic, because of other things happening, because we literally getting taken out in the beginning, and like the weather literally playing in their hand even, and then at the end of the race with like 20 minutes to go, I get disconnected as well. So I finished 5th instead of 2nd where I've been the entire race. So it's like, oh, like I couldn't, like I was fighting even for like half the race nearly to just unlap myself, and it just refused. It's like I don't know if I actually unlapped myself before I get disconnected or if I got just close to doing it. But like, I was in the realm of nearly pulling it off to at least unlap myself, and then just get disconnected. It's just like, yeah, that was a terrible race, and like but like when you screw yourself over that much, you know, you can recover from a car being bad. Oh yeah, and the KTM afterwards drove like other shit, so that was also fun. Right, you ever just need to go number 2 while eating, and then you're like, oh man, my food is gonna be so cold now. Oh man, Dad didn't know how to return to the home screen on his phone. Ooh. How old is he that he can't figure that one out? I mean, at least my mom can figure that part out. It's just occasionally on her phone she gets screwed over by the Wi-Fi being deciding to not Wi-Fi anymore, which is hilarious because she's sitting like just a couple meters away from the router, and like it just refuses occasionally to Wi-Fi because fucking stupid routers. Otherwise, she can even figure out how to manually reconnect and everything. It's just occasionally that you need to poke at the settings to make things happen. I mean, she even puts documents that she needs to, like, she does most of her emails these days on her tablet and her phone, and then just she needs documents printed. She downloads the documents, then moves the documents into the file share that I have for her, and I have access to the file share as well, to her file share. So I can just she can send me then a message and be like, "Hey, print this, please," and I'm just like, "Okay, fine." The only pain is that like I have to boot into Windows because the only working driver for the damn printer is Windows. So yeah. Can't Wi-Fi. I have her connected on 2.4 gigahertz because the 5. I mean, technically she could on the distance, but like the 5 gigahertz isn't even strong enough to like go through the entire the entire floor that she's on, right? I'm technically one floor above her, so. But like, there's dead spots definitely with the Wi-Fi. With her work laptop when she was working from home at the time, I did switch her over to 5 gigahertz because even though the room was decently far away and probably she would have gotten better Wi-Fi speeds on 2.4, it was more sensible to switch her over to 5 gigahertz because it was just significantly more reliable. Such a long time. Didn't know how to close apps on his phone. There was like 2 apps open. I mean, I have heard actually that on iPhone, it's like, no, don't close your apps. That's like bad because it takes longer to open them back up. And I'm like, my brother increased. I like it. I close every single app that I have down regularly. This doesn't make a difference. The advantage is especially because I keep my list of apps open to a relatively low number, so I can task switch relatively quickly. Which, with my phone, instead of my all three of I with my Fairphone, I can actually multitask, which I do a lot. I switch between apps very well. I can get the Wi-Fi monster. I can go over the monster. I mean, we do talk about the Wi-Fi cable occasionally. The cable that has to be laid down because, you know, the Wi-Fi isn't working. That was infamously back in the day when we had one computer in the household, like when I was going to kindergarten still at the time. We were using already, like, we had, I think, I don't know when we got an internet connection at home, but like we at some point got one. And it's like, you had to use the proprietary telecom dongle thing, and I don't know if it was like proprietary and used some proprietary protocol, whatever. It rarely ever worked properly. You regularly had to just throw things at the wall to convince things to work, and then oftentimes like literally connect with the lay the cable throughout the living room. Why are you mentioning the Gardena Wi-Fi adapter then? Because we have one of those. Six antennas, by the way. I have fallen off like a plush animal. The spiky boys. But yeah, I have what was I want to say? I mean, like a fool's joke. But yeah, the Gardena, we actually have one of their stupid boxes for our lawnmower. We have one of those. We also have like a water system technically that we never used. Like we have like set up large parts of an automatable water system, and we like laying the main pipe system, but like not the parts that actually water plants. We had at some point, but like we don't have that part anymore. It's like we never really used it, but I guess we have at least. If we want, we can get the water supply in certain corners of our garden now, so that's great, I guess. An AI artist for April Fools. Well, okay, there comes the KTM for the first attempt. I drift around the outside there. Right with Spidey senses tingling. I guess. Yeah, those things. Yeah, replacing the speed bump might be a decent idea, but yeah. We have the stupid Gardena box and it's sitting in one of the rooms facing the garden. So the device is in the... Well, the one device, because we don't use the water thing, and we don't use the water sensor either. So we only have the lawnmower, actually. Which has been freshly fenced in back again. Yes. Yeah, I need to replace the blades on it. Actually, I need to think of that. Yeah, me sliding out here, the KTM comes. And then there's just a slightest tab. Like, no one is really making a mistake here, it's just... And I just get... He has so much grip and power there. Yeah, just look at... I mean, granted, actually. You know, if I didn't fly off here, right? Right? Okay, granted, he was throwing the car so hard in that he was anyway past me. Even I would have not had a chance to stay around the outside because he just had that much more grip. Like, I just couldn't take the corner with that speed, irrelevant if he was there or not. I mean, it gave me only 1.3 seconds of damage, so that was nothing. Yeah. Can you kill Dana to HDMI? Ah, yes. Yeah, the Gardena adapters. Yeah, adapting from different. Well, there's actually different tube widths with Gardena. There's the standard tube and a plug width, and then there's a smaller one. And there's then there's two sizes for their smaller watering system. Amethyst is making deliveries in Critter, by the way. Ah, that's neat. I mean, the question is if they're gonna continue playing it. Like, they've been suffering nearly as bad as Jordan, but well, actually more than Jordan, let's be real. I mean, they've actually retired out of quite a few of the last few races. Because it's just been pain. Pure pain, Pekko. But, and from... I mean, Jordan hasn't had that great of races either, but, like, it's... The difference is, he had been handed a car that was performing well, and, you know, it always sucks when you throw, like, a decent finish away. Anime what? Anime Senpai? Yeah, I mean, I've been using for liveries always GIMP. For my livery creation, I load the Photoshop templates and then just into GIMP, and it just works and do all of my work there. I don't really do much drawing. I mean, I for a long time didn't have a drawing tablet for liveries. A lot of the liveries that I make are drawn with using the free selection tool and just fencing off areas to draw my lines on, and then obviously doing corrections to adjust the flow of the line correctly over the bodywork, especially between panels, because that can, which is why I'm like relatively slow in creating liveries at times. Creation metrics using I'm going to send pictures of anime senpais and this Discord server. I don't have a Discord server, but I might have one soon. Well, I won't have a personal one. I will have a server for Team Moffa Moffa. Team Moffa Moffa will have a Discord server. And the thought of me is that I will be using that one as a public Discord server. I mean, in part, what some of the thoughts Jordan has had is actually, you know, doing things with also older games and doing perhaps events in them, maybe. So at that point, a public server would obviously be useful because we could invite people in. Obviously, we need some private areas for organizing. Well, for example, the checkered flag. That name still makes my skin crawl. Unfortunately. Also, yeah, Chunky did not have a nice time there. The car unsettled there over a bump. Git just then disappearing for the rest of the race, and I mean, we can just skip a bit over the replay here. But I've been rambling a lot, so like I've been just letting the replay run and like letting people watch the replay here. Made me the model and keeps designing deliveries for me since I started with ACC. Mentrix is a really good artist, and he's becoming an actually decent driver as well. Like, I mean, he's been a long stay in V-Track as well, but like, man, he's been for such a long time struggling. I mean, in part because he has made similar mistakes that I do, which is choosing bad cars. You know, that doesn't help. Like picking the old Porsche in season 7. once he picked the McLaren, he was actually doing decently, and like, I mean, also the KTM crossbow in the GT4 was just like, that was such a disaster. Like it knew no bounds. That was just a complete disaster. And I mean, he did change. I don't know what car he changed for the last round, but he did a lot better. Still got, I think, lapped a few times, but like, he was getting lapped 10 times each race with the KTM, and it's like, boy, you're not having. Like, I'm impressed that you're still turning up, because this is just not even fun anymore. That's just sad. Like, there's a point of it being funny, and there's a point of it just being sad. Like your profile picture. Thank you. I mean, it's my VTuber model, just making a peace sign. I could turn my controllers on as well. But like, I've been using that for a long time. Relatively early on, since I mean, it is actually a long time. It's since 2021 I've been using this profile picture. But yeah, it's can be just me doing a peace sign. So there's that. Let me just switch my overlay, honestly. That's fun. If I point my fingers in there, that breaks itself effectively. Let me pull up my chat here. What's going to happen to Team Ira as well? It's gonna keep existing, but it's been always primarily a, you know, Alpha 2 team, and it wants to remain in Alpha 2. Why is my the front-facing point is a bit weird, because I'm resting my hands right now on my steering wheel here. My steering wheel here. Rotating. There's a bit of oddity because my point is pointing back. I mean, effectively it's just me doing the peace sign on my profile picture, something like that. Although I can't right now figure out how to turn this. I think roughly like this is how it looks. Because I just do peace. And like the good old VR chat player that I am. Because peace is one of the hand gestures that you can map things to. Including point, thumbs up, finger gun, rock and roll is one. Although I feel my fingers are very lanky on this model. At least in virtual motion capture, they have a lot of movement room. What else were there? I think that were all of them. CVR one. Cockpit voice recorder, or what do you mean with CVR? Oh yeah, well, middle finger is not a gesture in VR chat, but like, you know, I can obviously show the middle finger. Obviously, I have this capability. This is nothing new, and yeah, you can watch me again fly off the circuit here. That's also nothing new. Let me get my mouse pointer back in here. So, and when do I have my actual incidents? Not this lap, I guess this is just a casual lap here. Yeah, there's the mark that we're catching up. Oh, inflatable coconut gun. Chill out VR. Chill out VR, I guess. Yeah, when again? When am I gonna play that game again? I don't even have it installed right now. It's like, maybe I'll try it this weekend, because it's always that like you actually get the decent activity on the weekends. So I guess that's a decent choice then. I don't really have events that I want to attend. Especially, I don't have any racing events. But I wanted to stream actually yesterday on evening maybe, or Saturday evening, but I ended up not doing it. So I guess there's this, yeah. I still need to debug what the hell is breaking my overlay, but I also should probably abandon my current branch that that I have for my overlay plugin. For my leaderboard plugin, because that's just worked in general. Also, I should develop further on my SimHub replacements. Data Race wants to actually be pushed into a version that you can, you know, use. And here comes the incident then. And there he just clips my rear end. Just clips me. It's like he packed 80% out of it and then just decides like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stay in there. Just... oh, could I please get my switch back here? So... I mean, I'm not giving him much room. But he's also like basically running the racing line here. Yeah, he's running too fast into the corner still. We're gonna see him again, actually. This is number 8 car, but we'll actually see him again. So he must have towed at some point on this lap. Did he crash? Okay, he lets hear the Martins by. We have another incident, obviously, with Martins later. So that's what when Amut was like, no. This Frap has an inflatable coconut gun and he used it to get rid of Asia and the China. What is actually an inflatable coconut gun? Like, what the hell is that even? Oh, like, didn't break at all. Like, that's like a complete fucking rookie mistake. Yeah, that car's toast and a half. So obviously he tows. Spends a bunch of minutes towing the car, then he returns to driving. And then gets... crashes again, effectively. Does he do the same mistake? Nah, he actually slowed down this time. Okay, but like he was limping the car. This is when he spins and there I am. I'm catching back up to him. And that's why I pass him again. So, yeah, he was still technically on the same lap. Right, but we're gonna look at the other incident I had later in the lap. There's Martins here. Oh no, it's a Silver Gunner reference? Or new? I guess I'm too uncultured for that one. And the Merc's an engine node or something. Should honestly drive this thing a bit more the GT2 Merc. But you know, I don't have that many, you know, GT2 events to drive in, so it's like... I mean, I have already my GT2 commitment. I should probably get my hands on a GT3 Sprint Series commitment for the future, because I'm sort of out of events. Let's watch that from his onboard, because at some point I throw a block effectively. Yeah, he's starting to come in. Well, he's not closing in much, but here he is coming here, he's coming here. I'm already defensive here quite a bit, and then like... I'm not really blocking there. Like, I'm, for all intents and purposes, holding my line there. That gap, like, you could see this coming from this point here, is like, I'm driving in the middle of the road here. And if you want a gap, it's probably on the right-hand side at this point. But we can also, like, look at my third-person camera. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't even move. Could I actually, you know, get my third-person view? Thank you. So, yeah, there is not really... You can see that, like, there's, like, 0.8 car widths there. There's just about a car width on the right. This section is not really wide enough for free wide, effectively, so it's relatively easy to block like this. And it's like... Yeah, he's right now. He's driving right at the edge of the road in this very moment. He hasn't dipped the wheel yet. But like, he wants, you know, his wheel has to basically drive through me on the right-hand side. There is not enough room, and I'm not I'm moving now actually to the left. to completely cover him off. Now I move another like half a car width to like completely ensure that he isn't going on this side. It is blatantly obvious that this is not the side to go for. But I'm at this point already like, it is relatively keenly up. Like, I would have to genuinely move towards the right to actually give him room. But no, I'm not doing that. Not the slightest. I am sorry, Martins, but like, this is just... From your perspective, this is so obviously like, you derping up. Like, like, I'm not making it easy for you here. Like, the problem is, for a brief second here, it looks like there might be a gap, right? But there isn't. There wasn't one a second beforehand. Like, there is none on the left here. Maybe a bit on the right, but not really on the left. And then he moves out, and it's like... Maybe a bit, because it's the right-hand kink here. But also not really, as you can very quickly see. Like... And it's just... Oh, wait, skipped the wrong spot. Where is he getting on me? Is it the lap before? No, it's this lap here. Just found the lap in the race. It's like... Hey, you keep... No, I'm right now analyzing the replay. And I'm like, as you can see, I'm ahead of here. If the name tab actually shows up, I don't know. If it is it? Yeah, it is actually showing on the stream, right? And yeah, this is me getting involved in this incident here, where like, I'm not like, am I blocking this guy here? I mean, I'm not letting him by, but like, am I doing unfair moves that lead to him crashing here? Like, he's closing in a lot because I have a lot of damage and he's in the murk. But like, there isn't really a gap on the left-hand side. It might look like maybe there's one, but like, that's about an 1/8 of a car width, not quite a full. There's for a brief second an actual full here, but like, that just wasn't ever really on, this move. And it sucks, because this ended his race. Because he drove into the grass here, and I think slightly applied the brake, and that's what basically killed him. Like, if he hadn't applied the brake and just let it roll in the grass, yeah, he killed himself applying the brakes in the grass there. Like, you can see, he applied the brake beforehand, but like, he probably would have been fine with just lifting behind me. Like, there's speed difference, but like, just throwing the car onto the grass there behind me, and he would have been fine. The brakes were just a bit much, and then obviously noses into the wall, full speed. That car's probably very toast at that point. Here's the car very fired, he gets it. And he just pulls it off the road and doesn't even try to drive further. And returns to the pits, and I think also just... No, he doesn't even escape out of the race for good. Just stays with it. Guess that's some commitment. But yeah, the GT2s were utterly dominating. GT2s were utterly dominating this race. Yeah. Wait. There was an MC4! Ah. That's based. That is so based, this car choice. For reference, this car is the only GT4 car that does not have traction control or ABS. And has such a glorious sound. Okay, there was a few GT4s at the start of the race. What do we have as actual results here? When the Maserati GT4 finished 15th as far as the leaderboard here goes. I don't know how accurate it is. Usually cars that have left the server before the session ends are not included. It's sort of a bug. I finished second. And MrGit. 7 laps completed. Git could have made this an 8-lap race, but he didn't. Crimson is the first. P10 is the first car that down, but like that's only because he hadn't finished it. Wasn't able to finish the race because the cooldown time was too short, which is also a problem for the Maserati. He would have also been able to finish the race, but didn't due to too short of cooldown lap. The only GT4 car that actually got lapped was the Ginetta. And there's a few other cars that obviously got lapped before the end of this race. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think we've looked at most things that are interesting in this little play. Yeah, this is the first lap here. Can you please get a medical degree? I'm struggling already with computer science, that's my passion, so it's like... Medical definitely is the gods, I can tell you that. This gets like quite far down the order. Did he actually qualify? He's starting next to Hobby. Time to hit the shower. Meow. Not the shower. Is that a GT2 Porsche? Wait, hold on a second. Is that another GT2 Porsche? Or is that a GT3? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that is a GT2 RS. So that is the sibling Porsche to my 935. I have a 935 Porsche, which is just a 911 GT2 RS with a bodywork strapped on top of it. I mean, you can literally see it when we actually show it further up. A bit further up the road because I actually qualified. Come on. There's my car, and if you look down there... Come on. The camera is not quite gracious for us, but like... You know, you could see the bodywork contours of the actual, you know, bodywork of the 911 underneath there. So yeah, that's just a 911 in this case. So why the hell did the pole sitters actually get a driver penalty at the start? Did they just speed? Or were they out of position? I mean, I would need to look in the cockpit cam. Hello, can I can't like get cockpit? 65k. 69. This is fine still. I feel like they might have jumped the start slightly because the green flag came down a bit late. Why are you? Okay, there is a green flag declared already at this point because you'd see the animation finishing. So they must have not really jumped. I mean, here the BMW are also accelerating at roughly the same time, and the Beamer didn't get a drive through. For pit spinning, that's just... I'm at 80 already, so like they aren't speeding, but they must have been out of position when it switched over. But it is definitely odd that like both cars on the front row got a drive through effectively for being out of position. They're not far out of position either. It's like it's so weird. All my friends, I drive the low rider. The low rider. The highs. Low rider. So. I don't see how they could have gotten a drive through from. They don't seem to be really out of position. And they were the pole sitters. And yeah, the short formation is from up here. And there's the Maserati, Porsche, Caymans, Ginettas. There's a bit of chaos back here. Do we have here one? There's the Mercedes GT2. He didn't put a time in either. Coming from the back of the field up to us. It was even a Bentley. How long did that one last? Well, apparently not long. It died at some point on this lap. Okay, he pinned it over Schwedenkreuz. Oh, he got loose there. There's a bump on the top of Schwedenkreuz here that, oh, he's... Okay, his car was pretty toasted already. Yeah, he just got loose. There, not really much. But there's a bump that, like, has caught me out with cars that have decently proper setups from... At least from the GP circuit coming. That, would just unsettle them going over that crest, and they just then... Where you just you get understeer over the crest where you don't expect it, because usually, especially in ACC in Alpha 2, you can take that corner nearly close to flat in a GT3 car. You have to slow down for Porsche Cups, but like the Porsche Cup isn't that fast in, well, at least in the Nordschleife spec, and ACC also has like an endurance spec that's very similar in terms of speed. Man, I've got a bunch of. Yes, I do. Okay, that's answered. Puppy Linux. Okay. There's more for Morpher. Right. There's a message in general. Wait for a second. Okay, I need to also purchase, I need to purchase Pippa merch. That's still on the list technically. Right. I shall deal with that. In any case, that's all I'm gonna say here for tonight. That wraps up this stream. I was streamed for 2 hours because I spent nearly 2 hours looking at the replay. I spent a long time on the replay. But like, it is an interesting addition, but like, we shall see, because there's immediately been a few bugs with it, and the fact that GT2's locked out the top 3 positions, and would have been 4 if one of them didn't die behind me, from what is effectively me just holding my line. We were so much quicker than the GT3s, it's not even funny. And I don't think we were the most skilled drivers in the field, that's for sure. We weren't the worst. We were definitely, all 4 of us that were up there, definitely all 4 of us relatively good drivers that know how to drive a racetrack. But like, there's definitely some GT2. But yeah, there must have been also definitely some GT3 drivers that should have been more competitive than this, and yeah, they just weren't. The pace advantage is with the GT2s, but such a amount that isn't funny anymore. I mean, especially with the KTM. The KTM is just super glued to the ground. So yeah, that's fun. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. Well, I will see if I can, start fixing my my leaderboard plugin. But maybe I will just abandon my current branch and then start doing the fixes that I have on my personal version to the upstream repo, reworking those so I can actually upstream them, do pull requests for them, right? So yeah, I shall say good night, bye bye.